where East meets West to unlock the secrets of long life, strong hearts, and peaceful aging. In today's episode, we dive straight into a conversation that could change the way you look at your dinner plate. Because if you're over 60 and you're eating these 5 vegetables regularly, you might be unknowingly placing stress on your heart, your circulation, and your overall energy. To guide us through this vital discussion is a man who's not only seen over a century of life, he's shaped how that life is lived. Japan's oldest practicing doctor, Dr. Shigeaki Hinohara, is with us today. Doctor, thank you for joining us. I know we want to get right to it, so let's begin.
Thank you, John. I appreciate your urgency. This is a topic many people overlook because we are always focusing on what we should eat, but we forget completely what we should not, because vegetables are always seen as good. But the truth is, not all vegetables are helpful for every age, especially after 60, when the body becomes more sensitive to inflammation, mineral loss, and digestion.
And so today, we're highlighting 5 common vegetables that seniors might be eating without realizing their hidden dangers.
Yes, let's begin with tomatoes, especially raw tomatoes. In Japan we say, warmth calms the heart. Raw tomatoes are cold, acidic, and sharp. When eaten in excess, in salads, sandwiches, or juices, they disturb digestion and increase gastric acid. Many seniors no longer produce enough stomach acid to handle this. So instead of breaking the tomato down, it sits in the gut, ferments, and causes bloating or reflux. And this reflux triggers the vagus nerve, stimulating the heart. I've seen patients experience nighttime palpitations, not from stress, but from a tomato salad with dinner.
That's incredible. It's subtle, but over time, that adds up. What begins as a bit of bloating or an occasional flutter at night can slowly evolve into chronic discomfort that we dismiss as aging. But in reality, it's the body sending signals, trying to adapt, trying to protect itself. And if we don't listen, those small daily irritations accumulate, straining our heart, draining our energy, and disturbing our sleep in ways we don't fully connect. It's the slow, invisible toll that's hardest to catch, and most important to correct.
Exactly. The nervous system and digestive system are in constant communication. They are like lifelong partners, always in dialogue, subtle, precise, and deeply interwoven. If the digestive system is irritated by acidity, bloating, or discomfort, the nervous system responds, and the heart, which is regulated by both, becomes unsettled. What we feel as restlessness or anxiety might actually be the result of the gut struggling to process what we have eaten. So instead, treat your tomatoes with care. Lightly cook them. Let the fire transform their sharpness into warmth. Turn them into a gentle broth with ginger and olive oil, soothing and supportive. Or incorporate tomato paste into slow-cooked stews, where its acids mellow and blend into deeper flavors. When prepared this way, tomatoes can support circulation instead of disrupting it. Your heart, your digestion, and your sleep will thank you.
Reflecting on all this, it's humbling to realize how much impact the smallest food decisions can have on our overall health. For many of us, these vegetables are familiar, even comforting, part of family recipes, cultural traditions, or personal favorites. But as we age, the question we must keep asking is not just, is this food healthy? But rather, is this food right for me now? Because what's healing at 30 might be harmful at 70. Which brings us to another surprising example, eggplant, a popular vegetable in Mediterranean, Indian, and Asian cuisines. It is on your list, right?
Indeed, eggplant, or nasu as we say in Japan, is part of the nightshade family. It contains solanine, a chemical that can irritate the gut lining and inflame blood vessels. Most people only associate it with joint pain, but solanine also interferes with circulation, creating subtle inflammation that taxes the heart. The real problem is how eggplant is usually prepared. Fried, it absorbs oil like a sponge, and seniors already struggle with lipid balance. I've treated patients whose cholesterol was under control until they began weekly eggplant dishes. Once removed, their numbers dropped again.
That's so practical, because eggplant seems so innocent. It's soft, it's versatile, and it shows up in so many comforting recipes, from lasagna to stir-fries to Mediterranean spreads. Most people see it as a harmless staple, even a healthy one. But we rarely consider how the way we cook it, or how often we eat it, could silently be causing issues. That's what makes this so eye-opening. It's a reminder that even familiar foods can carry hidden burdens, especially when the body becomes more sensitive with age.
It's not about fear. It's about preparation. If you must eat eggplant, grill it until tender, not charred. Use minimal oil and avoid heavy sauces or cheeses that can further stress digestion. Pair it with bitter greens like maizuna, mustard leaves, or arugula. These help stimulate enzymes that offset the oil absorption and promote balance. I also recommend serving it with warm miso broth or daikon to ground the body after eating. And never eat it more than once a week. Your body needs time to reset. When eaten with intention and respect, even tricky foods can offer the benefit, but only in the right form, at the right time.
That advice about eggplant really brings everything full circle. It's not the vegetable itself, it's how we interact with it. The frequency, the method, the balance. I'm starting to see a theme here. The foods we think of as innocent can still have a powerful impact, especially when we're not mindful of how they show up on our plate. So let's keep going. What's the next food on your list?
It is celery, something that I personally do not like to eat, but nowadays it is a modern health icon. But raw celery, or worse, celery juice, is a danger for older adults. It acts as a natural diuretic, meaning it makes you urinate more. That might sound helpful, but here's the truth. You're losing potassium. And potassium is essential for heart rhythm. I've had patients feel dizzy, weak, or mentally foggy after their morning celery juice. They thought they were cleansing, but they were actually depleting the minerals that keep their heart stable.
What do you recommend instead?
Choose celery, don't juice it. Eat it occasionally, not daily. Twice a week is enough. And always alongside mineral-rich foods, seaweed, sesame seeds, or fermented miso.
There's so much wisdom in that. And again, it's about moderation and respect, not elimination. What I'm starting to see is that each of these foods has a story, a strength, and a potential weakness, depending on how we approach it. It's humbling, honestly, to realize how often we blindly follow trends without asking, is this food still right for my stage of life? So with that in mind, doctor, let's talk about another common superfood, spinach, a favorite of so many health-conscious seniors. Is it really that healthy?
Yes, it is healthy, but it really depends on the spinach's preparation. When raw, contains high levels of oxalates. These bind to calcium in the body and can lead to kidney stones, bone loss, and even stiffness in the arteries. One patient of mine drank green smoothies with raw spinach every morning for 6 months. He came to me with joint pain, brain fog, and irregular heartbeat. We traced it back to the smoothie. I advised him to steam his spinach, rotate his greens, and add fermented foods to support absorption. We also incorporated small servings of mineral-rich vegetables like turnip greens and seaweed to nourish his system more completely. Within a month, his symptoms eased, his clarity returned, his joints felt freer, and his heart rhythm stabilized. It was a remarkable shift, achieved not through medication, but through the careful refinement of daily food habits.
So it's not about avoiding spinach, it's about changing how we use it. That really challenges the one-size-fits-all approach to health. It's about adapting food to the needs of the aging body, not trying to force the body to adapt to our routines.
Exactly. Steamed spinach with sesame or lightly wilted with ginger is beautiful for seniors. When you gently heat spinach, you disarm the compounds that interfere with mineral absorption, and in doing so, you make its iron, folate, and antioxidants more available. Pair it with fermented soy, sesame or miso, and you create a synergistic dish that doesn't just nourish, but stabilizes. But do not eat it raw, and do not rely on it daily. Your body craves diversity, not routines that become burdens. Let food evolve with your season of life. Let it shift, lighten, and simplify as you grow older. That is not a limitation. It's a deep kind of wisdom.
That brings us to the final vegetable. And I have to say, this one really made me pause when I was reading your list before this show start. Green bell peppers? Of all the items on your list today, this might be the one most people consider completely harmless, even beneficial. They're colorful, crunchy, and often tossed into stir-fries or eaten raw with dip. But as you've shown us today, even the most common foods can behave very differently in an older body. So tell us, what's the story behind green bell peppers?
Green bell peppers are the unripe version of red and yellow peppers. They are harder to digest and contain more nervous system stimulants. For seniors, this means elevated heart rate, bloating, and sometimes poor sleep. I've seen patients wake at 2 a.m. feeling anxious, unaware it was from a dinner stir-fry with green peppers.
Would switching to red peppers help?
Yes, red and yellow peppers are riper, sweeter, and gentler, and always cook them. Never eat bell peppers raw if you have any digestive sensitivity or heart irregularities.
That last point is so powerful, because a lot of seniors eat raw vegetables thinking they're better. It's almost become a badge of discipline. Raw carrots, raw kale, raw peppers. But we rarely stop to ask whether our digestion at this stage in life can actually handle that load. And when we ignore those signals, the bloating, the tight chest, the restless sleep, we convince ourselves it's just part of aging, instead of asking whether our food might be too demanding.
That's a Western belief. Raw equals pure. But in Japan, we believe in pre-digestion. Cooking is an act of respect. It softens the burden on your gut and prepares the body to receive nourishment without struggle.
Your message today is so clear and deeply helpful. You've redefined what it means to eat wisely in our later years. It's not just about choosing healthy foods. It's about choosing what the body can receive with ease, with gratitude, with calm. Can you leave us with one final reflection?
Yes, in youth, we eat for speed. In age, we must eat for rhythm. If your food creates tension in your gut, your chest, or your sleep, it is not your friend, even if it is green.
That's beautiful. Thank you, Dr. Hinohara. And for everyone listening, this isn't about rules. It's about rhythm. It's about listening more closely to your body's changing needs. So here's a gentle invitation. Take one insight from today and try it. Not because you have to, but because you want to feel better, sleep deeper, and move through life with a little more ease. Choose one vegetable from today's list and make a small change. Cook it instead of eating it raw. Rotate it with something gentler. Light a candle at dinner. Take a short walk after lunch. These are small, quiet acts, but they speak loudly to the heart because your heart is listening and it remembers every kindness. And sometimes the foods we think are helping might just be holding us back. Thank you for joining us today. Do not forget to like, subscribe, and leave a comment if you think today's information was helpful. We'll see you in the next episode.